Well, I've just had a whole another wave of people blocking me because they want to live in their truth, and it's usually women who are just like, yo, I'm gonna live in my truth. I'm not gonna live in the truth. I'm gonna live in my truth. It's been pretty hilarious, but over here in masculine land, we focus on the truth. We worry about, hey, what are the facts of the situation, and is it the big deal that the media tries to make it out to be? And we have another contestant. This is coming to us from the Associated Press. Wells Fargo CEO apologizes for comments about diversity. This is written by Ken Sweet. All right, and so let's get into it. Wells Fargo CEO Charles Scharf apologized Wednesday for comments he made suggesting it is difficult to find qualified black executives in the financial industry. Here's the thing. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think, honestly, if you look at this from an adult perspective, he has absolutely nothing to apologize for because he's right. It's like finding not a needle in a haystack, but a speck of pepper in a vanilla shake. Okay, like that's just because of the class system that we have here. Now, is it possible for black people to reach the upper class and the 1%? Of course. But how often does it happen? Not enough to a point where, it's just easy to go pluck a I guess a Negro CEO from boardroom. Scharf said in a memo to employees, there is a very limited pool of black talent to recruit from in corporate America. The memo was written in June, but became public only this week. And he's not wrong, because if you look at a lot of the environments which many of the, quote unquote, black community come from, they aren't geared towards creating that class of individual. I think a good example for this is the movie industry. The executive over at Fox is now an executive over at Sony, right? It really is not just a boys club, but it is a class club that you got to pay your way to get in, and a lot of people don't have those ends. A lot of people don't have that type of network. It's one of the main reasons I tell young men to, when you go to college, network your ass off, and if you can find somebody that got a job for 160 grand, making 160 grand a year, how about you just run on over there? Bingo, you made it. Don't sit there and take out any more loans. Okay. Scharf said, okay. The comments are similar. Statements made in a Zoom meeting reported by Reuters led to an intense backlash in Washington and on social media. And as we talk about on this channel all the time, social media, it's all chicks, dude. Seriously, shut up. They're just whining. They don't. Social media don't give a shit about nuance. I'll put it to you like that. Perhaps it is the CEO of Wells Fargo who lacks the talent to recruit black workers, said, oh, Christ, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yo, this broad. Oh my goodness. That's why I don't talk about it that much anymore, because it's just, seriously, when I know what to expect from you, I find it boring talking about you. Scharf on Wednesday said in a prepared statement that his comments reflected my own unconscious bias. No, it didn't. It reflected reality. I hate this shit. I hate these bullshit, these bullshit excuses that they got to toss out there. The deal is that no, there's not a lot of, that pool is very, very limited. Black, green, black. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Asians, but but as far as black individuals, yeah, there are. Is it possible to make it to the upper crest? Of course, but then you have this other thing called free will, and if people aren't aiming, and if that's not a goal of someone's life, then it's really hard to sit here and say, oh well, how come they're not there? Because you know what, maybe they didn't strive for it. Maybe there aren't people in those positions. But when he says, and he's not saying that there aren't any, he's saying that it's very limited, which it would be. And we're seeing all these stories coming out from black women. Oh, I couldn't take it in corporate America. Oh man, I used to work in corporate America, but the white folks in corporate America, it's like, well, then okay, then you cut out. You quit. It is what it is. But don't sit there and say that the opportunity isn't there for you. It's bullshit. There is no question Wells Fargo has to make meaningful progress to increase diverse representation. Just make sure my money's okay. That's not your job. I don't give a shit about your diversity. Make sure my money's fine, bro. make sure make sure you're not doing the whole, you're not taking part in the mortgage scams and being a part of the bubbles and stuff like that. Like, you're not doing shady, underhanded, market bubble bullshit. Do that. Don't worry about, I don't give a shit about your diversity, bro. Like, don't destroy the economy. Try doing that, because that's more congruitive to your job, at least in my opinion, than yeah, we got this, we got all our tokens sitting right here. And hey, if you do want to hire a token black guy for a couple $100,000 a year, I mean, what's up? Shit, I'll take that job all day. Like, screw that. I'll be your token. It's all good. But if you need me to smile for this, you need me to smile, take this picture, I'll smile for you. It's all good. How much am I making? $300,000 a year? Shit, we good, bro. We fam. We alright. So, like, yeah, lift another black person out of poverty. I'm not in poverty. I'm not, like, I'm okay. I'm doing well. Anyways, like much of the political and corporate world, the banking industry has to face a reckoning in the wake of the In the wake of the death of George Floyd, for its role in the racial and economic inequality that black and other minorities face, black banks have announced changes to how they lend and created new programs to spur economic development in communities of color. And real talk, it's just like, honestly, they're just going to turn into what they always turn into, and that is money laundering schemes for nefarious individuals. I got a couple of calls to make. On Wednesday, Citigroup announced that it would direct $1 billion of the firm capital towards closing the racial wealth gap in the United States. Okay, are you putting good jobs there so people can earn a decent living? Is that what you're using that $1 billion for? Because if you're not, then we're kind of just running in place now, aren't we? It would include $550 million in home ownership. Okay, so the deal is that the rest of this is just basically a whole gigantic virtue signal I don't feel like getting into. But when it comes to what Mr. Scharf says, yeah, he said absolutely nothing wrong. He's 100% correct. And if you don't understand the class system, like everybody's saying, oh my goodness, capitalism has to go down and all this other stuff, and yeah, but you don't really understand, but you're like blatantly ignoring how our class system works. Like, if you're not swimming in those seas, then don't expect to run across those sharks. Can you dig it? There's not really a open line. Like, you can get there. Like I said, you go to college and you network and you meet people, and if that's a true goal and aspiration of yours, you go work at the bank and all this other stuff, then bang, I have absolutely no doubt that you can make it there. But as far as this, but if people don't want to do it, then there's really nothing to be said. That's the thing. You can't sit here and continue to demand equality of outcome, because that's just not how life works. But you may disagree. All the internet stuff. If you like the toss it, like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, this is tame. What he said was this is such a blatant show of internet force. Like, oh yes, businesses, companies, just turn off your Twitter. Try that. Like, just shut down, delete your accounts, and watch how much less bullshit you get for the most menial and mundane things. See, that's the problem. They all went on Twitter, was like, oh yeah, this is a great way to interact, and thinking that they was all Wendy's. Like, I'm sorry, businesses and companies and shit, you're not Wendy's, all right? But you may disagree, and that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.